I skipped a number.
What? I was so confused.
That's how countdowns work.
You have to count. You're not supposed to be skipping numbers.
Well, you see, I wasn't counting fast enough
Oh,
for the countdown. The countdown is much faster
well,
than I
because
am.
you were counting, you had this number going and you were saying this number, but I'm looking at the number on my screen and it's totally not the same number. And I was like, what is, you're like way ahead of,
The YouTube delay will get you
I,
every
it does,
time.
man. I'm so, well,
Uh,
whatever.
how's it
Hey,
going,
good
everybody?
morning. Ah,
Welcome to the Double Cup of Joe show. Joe's getting ready we're gonna karate chop your morning with our
like,
stuff.
you ever get blown around in the breeze? Like, whoa.
No, but I generally just don't go outside that often,
Oh,
so you don't get blown around if you're not in the wind.
you do, it's, hey, wind is required. Yes, wind not included.
Oh, well,
Hey, good question.
are we staying home all day? Yes.
I am actually. I don't have to go to the field and do inspections today. I get to stay home and work on the book.
Mm,
The book.
the book.
It's become. It's
Nice.
become a thing, a beast of its own. The book. Anyway, sorry, Joe. You're the host. I'm not. I'm just. No. You have to like tell me to.
I'm gonna have to
Uh,
wrangle you in.
you're like,
Yep.
man, this guy needs to be quiet.
Yep. We're just gonna give away everything. Anyway, good morning. Welcome to the Double Cup of Joe show. I'm your host, Joe,
And I'm your other host, Joe.
and together we're here to make your morning, afternoon, evening thing, whatever you're doing right now, right. And so that's what we're here for. Okay, maybe we're not here to do that. We might just be here to hang out in the morning together. But you can hang
Yeah.
out here with us, and hopefully it makes your day a little bit better. If you didn't understand what Joe was talking about, we ran a Kickstarter just a few months ago. And Joe is putting on the finishing touches to a portion of that.
Hmm.
Jeff has indicated right there the Criminal Idol Season 1 art book.
Which is much more than an art book.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a behind the scenes, dig through the storybook with all the artwork and everything. I mean, it's an everything about season one book. It's quite amazing
Mhm.
put together.
Yeah, when we first when they first pitched this idea, I was like, art book, yeah, that's like 30 pages of art. And then this may or may not be that. It's not that. It's
It's
not
like
that at all.
130 pages. I mean, it's gonna be like this thick.
Yes. So anyway, it's a wonderful, wonderful piece, and hopefully you guys get it. If not, hopefully we have leftovers so you can get one yourself. Anyway.
Oh, we'll have leftovers. Hey, no one. Hey, don't be sorry, Static. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing, and I'm glad it's turning out the way it is. But
hmm So anyway, that's something to be thankful for. And speaking of thankful, we should roll right into our three-step routine. Boom.
hmm.
20 pages of commas. Jeff, you're savage. Um, we have a three-step routine every morning that consists of three steps. It's what are you thankful for? What are you looking forward to? And what are you gonna do today to move your life forward? This is a great way to get every day going in the right direction because it helps your mind recognize what good has been put into your life. Two, it helps you recognize what you're hopeful for, what you're looking forward to, maybe that
Hmm.
dream that we're talking about today. And then,
Oh,
oh,
oh.
and then three is the action step. It's where you do something with your life. So that's a great way to spend every day. Not just your three-step routine, but the entirety of your day. So without further ado, I think Joe over here has something that he's thankful for.
I do. I have lots to be thankful for today. And I told you I was going to have trouble narrowing it down. But At the risk of sounding sappy, I'm going to say this one.
Oh
I'm
boy.
thankful. I'm thankful for the crew that puts this show on. I'm thankful that I'm getting. I was thinking about this just the other day. Like when you spend every morning throughout the week with a person, actually, in our case, it's two people because
Hmm.
it's me and Joe, and then also Jeff is here every morning. Jeff joins us before we get started and after we get done with the show. He's on this call with us. And this crew, I'm just thankful for this friendship that's being, you know, I don't want to say developed because we were already friends before, I guess, but further developed, I guess. But when you spend every morning with some people, you get to know them and you get to have a good time, and I'm just really really thankful for that.
Joe.
Is that sappy? Because
Yeah, it's okay though. We'll allow it. We'll allow
I'm also
it.
thankful for everybody in the chat and getting to hang out with you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
Them.
sappy too. You guys are so special to me.
You want to talk about it?
I just did.
Okay.
That's all I got to say. That's all I have to say about that. Name that movie
In the chat,
in
comment
the
the
chat.
movie. So yeah, thanks, Joe. It is really fun to get together every morning. Well, okay, it'd be cooler to get together later, but the morning is a good enough time. uh, I think I make out mornings to be worse than they are. Mornings are actually pretty fun.
They're
Um,
so amazing.
Joe thinks so more than I do, but that's okay. That's okay. And it is amazingly fun to hang out with you guys here in the chat. Every time you guys have something to say, it seems like a lot of wisdom and a lot of fun. So I hope that you guys are spending your your mornings pretty well. Yoshi got you. This is the first thing I do is just
Yeah,
answer
good
your question.
job. Good job,
Nicely done.
Yoshi.
Nicely done. So that's the first step is what are you thankful for? Whether it's for other people, for something that's happened in your life, um, whether it's you made it to the bus on time today, you have something to be thankful for today. So make sure you do that. Step number 2 is what are you looking forward to? This is something that's coming up, something that hasn't happened yet, something that's in the future. So, Joe, bring out your crystal ball. What are you looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to. Well, what was I thankful for? I was thankful for this group of people that we make this show with. I'm looking forward to spending more time with this group of people that we that we do the show with. And I look like oh man, I'm with Tef. I'm looking forward to the next cup of coffee. Yes, because there is going to be another in my future. It's going to be awesome. Actually, I'm looking forward to seeing what I can accomplish today. I'm really excited, like I mentioned before, that I have a day where I don't have to go out and do inspections, so I can just totally work on BSS stuff today. I can work on the book, and then if I get stuff like that done and accomplished, I could work on other projects. And I'm just at the end of today, I'm looking forward to looking back on my day, being like, ah, look at all that stuff I did. Do you ever have those moments at the end of your day? And you're like, I got a lot accomplished today. I'm looking forward to that moment.
Mm.
Kind of a short term looking forward to, but that's what I got. That's satisfactory. You're
Yeah,
sitting there like I didn't. You're sitting there like it's not good enough. You're
there are no
like that's not a good
factories.
enough thing. That's not a good enough thing to look forward to, Joe. You need to come up with a better one.
Yep, go again. Looking forward to feeling accomplished. Just nah, that's not good enough. But yeah, that's great. I'm excited to look back and see what you had that you did that I didn't do because you're doing it.
Yeah.
So,
It's exciting.
hmm And you can be looking forward to anything, the end of a rainy season. You haven't gotten the chance to water your plants lately. Like, it doesn't have to be, wait, you're looking forward to the end of the rainy season because you haven't got a chance to water. So, do you like to water your plants versus having nature do it? I guess I'm confused. Anyway, Akil is brilliant. Hi, Cherry. It's good to see you. Um,
Yeah.
and we're in step two of our or 3 step process. It's
Step
down to
two.
two today, guys.
Hey,
I
good.
just
Well, that's
axed
it.
that
We're
third one,
done.
which is
Which
what
just
are you looking
no
forward to?
action. No action
No
today.
actions today. Today is just a day of rest. Um, so Joe had a good one. If you have anything you're looking forward to, whether it's watering plants, whether it's looking forward to a new show coming out, it doesn't matter. Just something that has you looking into the future and getting excited and getting like, I am ready for the coming day, and I want to be there. Step number 3 is the action step. It's what are you gonna do today to move your life forward. If step number 2 requires some action on your part, probably want that to be an action that moves you towards that. If it's not, it's anything that moves your life forward, whether it's in learning something new, whether it's practicing a skill that you have. This can really be anything that moves your life in the direction that you want to go. So, Joe,
Hmm.
what are you going to do today to move your life forward?
Well, other than all of my Black Static and Swerve assignments, I'm also going to work on my Taekwondo form, Chungjung 2, which is what it's called,
Okay.
because we have testing this weekend. Our belt testing is this weekend. So, and I'm testing for my recommended black belt this weekend.
Your recommended black belt?
Yeah, recommended. That's like where you have to hold that and hold that spot for 6 months. You're recommended black belt for 6 months before you actually do your full black belt test. And then you're a decided black belt.
I see.
Yes. So, but they only do testings for black belts in June and December. So I will actually be recommended black belt for 8 months instead of 6. But
Oh,
as long as I pass my test this weekend.
good
But
luck.
yes, yes, it's a tough form. It's tough in this area because we do it all on Zoom, and so I have this area to work with, and I push all this stuff back and move it. But like I mentioned before on the show, I've got this chair. I'm gonna have to move this chair because I keep accidentally kicking it, and it hurts my foot.
Isn't it Taekwondo? Just kick through it, just right in half. Gah!
Oh yeah, there we go. But then I wouldn't have the chair,
Oh, that's true. That's true.
and the chair is useful.
Mm.
Move the chair. That's you're right. Anyway, I digress. That's what I'm doing today.
Cool. Well, yeah, that'll be great. Encrypted says, been trying to get in better shape. Hey, that can be something you can start today. I mean, my wife has been trying to get me to get in better shape for a long time, and I've been trying to get into better shape for a long time. It's not that easy. So, just start with something simple. A 15-minute walk a day. It's not hard. It doesn't take up a bunch of time, and it can be the first step to a grand adventure. Oof. Everyone else is disagreeing with your wanting a chair, Joe. They,
I don't know. A chair is useful at a different level than a black belt, I think. And yet, the chair is never. There is no chair.
oh my
Like
goodness.
there is no spoon. Name that movie. Jeff's got movie references coming out now, so yeah, you guys ought to know that one. As soon as he says Mr. Anderson, that ought to be pretty easy.
Yeah, but that's from a time past. Oh,
Uh,
Jeff gave
Jeff,
it away already.
Jeff gave his own reference away.
Oh no. Let's keep going before Joe gives more or Jeff gives more away.
Watch this. Watch this. See?
I don't want
Look
to
at this.
watch.
Wait. Watch. I'm going to do the proper thing. Ta-da! Hand sanitizer.
Joe, Joe, you're in your house. You can just like wash your hands. Like,
I can't wash my hands right here. There's nothing here. And they're always like, immediately after blowing your nose, wash your hands. Well, I can't wash my hands unless I like pour my water on my hands. And
oh
I
my
got hand
god.
sanitizer.
Yep. All right. Well, at least we're teaching everyone to be healthy.
The sink isn't real.
Yep.
There is no hand sanitizer.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, onward we go. Today's topic, if you didn't know already, is we're still talking about this idea of purpose, what the reason is behind the season. I mean, behind what we're doing, um, and that it all starts with a dream. And Joe doesn't know this, but when I go to bed every night, I don't dream. So I probably don't know much about this topic. So I'm going to hand it off to him and have him tell me uh, what does this dream have to do with this purpose?
You don't dream at night?
No. Well, I don't remember any of them. They say
Oh,
that you
okay.
still do, but I've like once a year, maybe.
Once a year, you remember your dreams?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, we're not talking about that kind of dream anyway.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good.
That's a different one. We're talking about your daydreaming. Do you daydream?
Far too often.
Far too often. No, that's a good thing. That's where it all starts. It all starts with the dreams during the day. Like I'm not gonna remember this quote, but there was a quote I heard that was kind of to the tune of the people that dream at night. I mean, it's normal, to dream while you're sleeping. The people that dream during the day, they can be dangerous because they're the ones who shape the world. Because when you dream, when you imagine what is possible, that is how progress happens. I mean, that's there's this song I have in my workout rotation. And it's an electronic like dance song, right? And it's got a quote in there from, I think it's Will Smith. And it says, being realistic is the most commonly traveled road to mediocrity. Why would you be realistic? What's the point of being realistic? And that I want to kind of challenge you guys to go beyond the realistic. When you're going towards purpose, when you're moving towards this dream that you're going to turn into a purpose, I want to challenge you. If you start to have thoughts like, oh man, that's not realistic, nobody's ever done that before, like that's just not even feasible or anything like that. Do you realize that every ounce of progress that we've made as human beings started with somebody challenging what was realistic? You look at all this stuff. I mean, we've got light bulbs going. We were talking about Thomas Edison last night on Don't Worry Wednesday. I mean, was it realistic for him to think that he could try over and over and over and over and over again and finally come up with a filament that was going to be an incandescent light bulb? No, that wasn't realistic. They had perfectly good sources of light at the time. They had the kerosene lamps and everything. They had the lamp lighters that walked around on stilts at night, the little things, and they'd light the thing. They didn't need all that stuff. The network of electricity, I mean, not, and you look at all this, all the infrastructures we have in place now. All that started with somebody imagining something beyond what was realistic. And probably every single one of them had critics. In fact, I guarantee it, they had critics. So as you go, if you start to share some of your dreams about, oh, this could be possible, this could be possible. If you're starting to run into criticism by other people, you're on the right track. That means you're moving towards something that's in a progressive nature. You're challenging the status quo. And that's how we move forward. That's how we as a society move forward. That's how technology moves forward. I mean, it's incredible. But the world around us, it tries to stifle that. It tries to be like, "Oh, that's not even realistic. That's not feasible. You can't do that." But now, how many people are thankful for their smartphone? People can't even live without their smartphone. But I remember before, like nobody even imagined that that was even a thing. And I bet when I think it was Steve Jobs kind of the guy who kind of pioneered that, Joe?
He was one of them. It definitely was the Apple.
Yeah. Well, that was the first one that came out, but so anyway, but him and whoever he was working with that kind of formulated this idea. I'm sure if they went and told their friends about it, their friends were like, "That's dumb. You're not going to be able to do that. Are you kidding me? What the heck?" Even their suppliers, like they would go. There was a story about when he went to for the Gorilla Glass or whatever that was gonna make the screen. He went to the company that was manufacturing that, and they hadn't made that product in years. And they had to like retool their factories and all this kind of stuff. And they're like, "What? You're gonna find a use for that? That's ridiculous." And so there was this whole big to do about even some of the supplies that went into making it. But that's I want to challenge you guys. With all that said, if something seems unrealistic, that's probably exactly where you need to go. So, with that beginning, I'm going to hand it off to Joe.
Thanks, Joe.
Hmm.
I like this idea of being unrealistic. Actually, probably don't. I'm a numbers guy. I like the hard, the facts, the actuality. Um, so yes, if you're doing accounting, please don't give me your dream numbers. Give me your actual numbers. Um,
But Joe,
yeah, sorry, that's not how that works. So yeah, I mean, there's like Joe talks about. There's this idea of when you start to get challenged with things, it means that you're changing the status quo, that you're changing how things are. And people, as a general rule, don't like change. I don't like change. I'll be honest. It's pretty straightforward. Of if I enjoy something, I generally don't want it to change. That's like a normal, okay thing. Like if my job is a lamp lighter and somebody decides he wants to create a light bulb so I don't have a job anymore, I'm gonna have some issue with that.
Mhm.
That doesn't mean that's not necessarily a bad thing because what you find often enough is that as technology improves and different jobs start to go away, those people end up just finding new jobs that they're good at and they can do and that make a difference. So one of the things um, that you can really focus on though is not necessarily um, well, okay. When you are doing the dreaming though, you don't want to focus on the negative criticism of those people. You can recognize that it's there, but what their issue is isn't what your issue is. Um, you see, dreaming is this idea of limitless goal setting.
Mm.
There's nothing that gets in the way. And so that means even if you have people saying, hey, this isn't possible or this is not good or whatever it is, that's okay. Like, that's not the purpose of the dreaming. The dreaming is just, hey, this would be amazing and awesome. And how could it be achieved? What does it even look like? How does it work? Like, and that doesn't even necessarily mean it has to be real. Like authors and artists and all these other people, they dream too, except they do extremely limitless dreaming because they can make that happen no matter if it's feasible or not. And so, kind of what we want to present with this is if you don't know what your purpose is, if you don't know what track you're on, or if you even don't know that there is a track, that you can just dream of anything. And that out of what you're dreaming of, out of what you're thinking about, that you can find a purpose in your life. That this whole premise of taking the day to like be dreaming rather than working seems really hard for some people. It's like I gotta be doing something. I gotta do. And dreaming is something that you can do. I know, my teachers hated it in school because I would never listen to them. This isn't this isn't me necessarily saying this is the right thing, but it was because I was always daydreaming of like, hey, what am I gonna do later? Like, oh, what am I gonna do with the rest of my life? Um, how do I wanna be moving forward?
Hmm.
Where do I want school to take me? Like all these things I dreamed of during school, and and that's okay. Like that's something you need to do. You need to take that time to just look at the world and imagine, oh, what could this be like? What does it look like? And even if like right now you're in school and you're going, well, I don't have the time to daydream. I don't have I've got all this work to do. I've got all this class studying I've got to focus on. It's like that's just work. Like it's again very limiting. What you want to be able to do is you want to be able to do both.
Hmm.
Like yes, you need to study, yes, you need to learn, but you also need to dream because at the end of the day, school only gets you so far. Because while school can teach you the knowledge and the things you need to be able to do, it's not until you get out and start doing things that you really see, oh, this is why that happened. And the only way you can kind of imagine into the future of why you might need it is if you're starting to daydream. Like, hey, this thing I learned in school, how could I apply this? How could this become something? And that's what daydreaming is about, is taking, here's my knowledge, here's what I like to do, and saying, what could I do with this? What could it look like? And so with that, I'm going to turn it back to Joe,
Hmm.
who has some wonderful wisdom for us.
Yeah, well, I love what you're talking about, and it's taking that time to do that. It really is kind of a discipline to to uh, to take that time to dream. And like Joe was talking about, you know, it's definitely a necessary thing to do. And I've found it to be very, very useful. Like if I'm working on something and it's good to work and focus on what you're doing, right? Like whether you're in school or at work or whatever, you got to focus in order to get things done, right? But there are times, I mean, I get burned out easy. I get burned out actually quickly. Like I have to set timers. I guess it depends on the task. If I'm playing music, I could go for hours, and just and not quit. There have been famous weekends where Steve and I have gotten together and just played for hours, like all day. So like morning to night, and then like, oh my gosh, it's already 11 o'clock. What in the heck, And then then we are gonna do it again the next day, and but for most things that I do, a lot of things we do, in order to get things done, it feels like work and effort, and it's not always easy to do. So I program in there, I set timers, and I'm like, at when I take a break, I try to actively remind myself, take those breaks and dream. Envision the future. Take that time to remember what's the whole purpose behind this effort that you're putting forward. What's the reason for doing it? And that's usually your dream or your purpose. And to take that specific time and remind yourself of that and to visualize, okay, this is what that future is that I'm shooting for. And I would encourage you also, you can kind of three-step process that. in a way as well. It's a little bit of a different angle, but I take a look at the dream that I have, right? And I'll imagine, okay, what's it gonna feel like when I accomplish it? What's it gonna feel like to me completely? Like, what's it gonna look like? What's it gonna feel like? What's it gonna sound like? What's it gonna taste like? I'm like, sit there and I'm like, okay, it's gonna taste like, you know, barbecued hot dogs because barbecued hot dogs. Oh boy.
Delicious.
Because we're gonna have a cookout or whatever when this happens, and it's gonna be awesome, and we'll be around friends, and it's gonna sound like people laughing and having a good time, and there's gonna be the smell of the grill and the smell of the spring or summertime air or whatever, and you just imagine the accomplishment, right? What's it feel like? All your senses. And then how's it going to affect the people that you're close to? I was kind of throw that angle in. Okay, my friends and my family, how's it going to affect all of our lives collectively? Right? And so you've got what's it feel like? How's it affect the people around you? And then step 3, you know what step 3 is? It's always the action step. What's something I can do to move toward it? You always throw that action in. And then a lot, man, I have done that and I have filled up my to-do list with just things like that. Like, so if you're always looking for something to do, you're bored, take some time to dream where you're like, what's that going to feel like? That's going to be great. Oh my gosh. It's going to be this type of thing. I'm going to have an ice cream sandwich. And then, like whatever. And how's it going to affect the people around me? How the people I love, the people I care about? How are we going to be involved with all this? And then finally, always action. What can I do to move toward that? What can I do now to do that? I mean, I might not have all the tools in place to do step 47, on my way to that, right? But what do I have in place now that I can do? How can I start to get those tools for step 47? How can I start to what step am I at right now and what can I do right now? Because there's always something you can do. There's always something you can do. And figure that out. And then you know what happens? You will never have to be bored again ever in your life. Because you'll always have something to do. And it always comes it's always going to be a part of that overarching dream that you've set up for yourself. And it's when you are working towards making your dreams come true, you know how exciting that is every day. You guys talk about me being a ball of energy. Like there's a clue here in what I'm talking about right now of why. Because when I wake up and I do this show, this is a part of my dream. This is a part of moving towards, like my overall goals that I look at every day. And it's like this. So that's why when I come here and I do this, not only is it fun to hang out with you guys and with Joe, but this is also a part of moving toward my dreams. And it's part of my dream too. You guys, you guys are my dream come true. Really? I don't know if you knew
Oof.
that. But at any rate, I wanted to do that. This we're gonna get deeper into like different levels of purpose, but this part is so important because this is where it all starts, just like it says in the topic. This is the beginning of all of it, and from here it's gonna grow and it's gonna become bigger than us. It's gonna involve other people. It's gonna serve the world, and then it gets even more exciting and more meaningful in your life. So I don't know. I'm excited for this week. We've dubbed the last partial week of April as Purpose Week for BSS.
Oh,
So you've now been informed.
yeah. Perfect.
So hope you didn't have anything to do those weeks because it's Purpose Week.
Ah,
But
this week?
This week is Purpose Week. Ryan actually made it happen last night because on Don't Worry Wednesday or Don't Muddle Monday, he was talking the very first topic. He just rolled right into purpose, and I'm like, "That's what we talked about at Double Cup of Joe." Like, oh, must be Purpose Week.
All right. Well, I'll have to go back and watch, like Jeff says.
Yeah, we might make it Purpose a couple weeks actually. We might have to do it more than once. But with
Perfect.
that, back to you, Joe.
Thanks, Joe. Yeah, and I think what we're talking about here is an action step, and it goes back to what Magician Jester said, but is no longer there. This idea of um, having dreams and then not getting to them can be very demoralizing. It's a reason that we talk about action on this show a lot. Of like, hey, we want you to look forward into the future for something hopeful. We want you to dream, but if you don't like follow all the steps, then you just kind of get left in like this empty feeling because you're not all the way through everything. You don't get all the way through it. And yeah, one of the things that we recognize here at BSS, and hopefully everyone recognizes, is this idea of part of the reason that perhaps you aren't able to achieve your dreams or make it is because you're trying to go it alone, and that's the hardest thing you can do. I think we'd like to make it out like there was just one person who did everything, but like Steve Jobs is the one who gets all the credit, but like he didn't do everything. Like everyone talks about, well, Steve Jobs is working like 80 hours, every 2 days, and did all this shenanigans and did all, but it wasn't just him. And you actually read on it. There's multiple people involved in Apple. There was a lot that went into getting it started, and Steve Jobs played a big part in it. But at the end of the day, it's not going to just be you. I haven't ever met anyone it was just them. We always credit it to one person who usually makes the final discovery or who brings the product to what we finally see. But the fact of the matter is, none of these things happen singularly, and that's okay. That's a good thing. Like you don't want it to happen individually. I think if any of us have been trying to do things out on our own for a while and it's not going very well, that those dreams get tough. Those
Hmm.
those dreams generally end up kind of fizzling out because it was your dream and yours alone, and you had everyone fighting you, or it felt like you had everyone fighting you. Because it goes back to that thing we said at the beginning of the show. Um, you have when you dream and you have these ideas, you start to get people who fight you. But on the other end of that is you have people who really get behind the dream. You have people who are there on your side who are like, yeah, let's go ahead and do this. Let's make a huge difference because this is a sweet idea. This is awesome. We want to do this thing.
Hmm.
And so I highly recommend, like, even though it feels awkward to talk about like dreams to some people that even though it can feel like really uncomfortable, like I'm really excited about dot 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 whatever this thing is, and you're like, oh crap, he could totally just think that's silly. That's a silly idea. Like we talked about, there's detractors, but he could also be like, Joe, that's an amazing idea. Let's go ahead and do this. It's kind of how this show started. I think Joe was like, hey, we should do this show, and I'm like, yeah, that's a great idea. Let's go do it. And then it happened.
Right.
So
It stalled for like a year first.
it didn't stall. It just stalled. it
Ta-da! Ding ding.
it turns out that it's much easier to produce a live show than it is to produce a podcast.
It is.
Um,
It is. And it's way more fun, I think, because like we get to be here in the chat with you guys.
mhm.
I love it. I mean, we might not necessarily get the watch time that a fully produced and edited show might have, but still, man, I'm having way more fun. And the purpose isn't necessarily watch time. The purpose is to hang out with you guys.
Hmm.
That's the whole goal. Sorry, Joe, I interrupted you.
Nah, that's good. That's good. Again, dream. We want you to dream, but we want you to dream with other people too. Have a group dream. Have a dream that you can all work towards. Because I know that you know people and have people who are just as excited about some of this stuff as you are. So get
Mm.
out there, dream a dream, and we'll see what you have on the other side when you make something amazing happen.
Yeah, and who knows? Maybe you'll do it with us.
Yeah, we might have some cool dream things coming down the pipeline. So
That could be fun. Oh man! But then tomorrow we're gonna get into what's tomorrow about? Tomorrow is expanding this to how does it serve the world, right? So yeah, because for it to be purposeful, I think Ryan said that his brother Kyle told him that a purpose is really a dream that goes beyond yourself.
hmm,
So all this that when you're dreaming, this is a necessary first step. But then when you take that and you take your dream and you're like, how can I fit that into the context of serving the entire world or serving a segment of the world or serving my neighbor or serving my kids or my whoever in your life? When you can take that and involve others, now it becomes more purposeful because it grows beyond just you. And now it's weird because then it turns into this like you almost feel obligated, like I have to make this happen. I have to do this because it's going to impact other people's lives. This is more than just me and what I want. This is for the betterment of others as well. So stay tuned for tomorrow's exciting adventure.
on the Double Cup of Joe show.
That one, yeah, it's
So
gonna be awesome.
it will be awesome. Also, this Friday, it is Free for All Friday. We're talking about metaphors, metaphorically speaking.
Metaphorically, metaphors.
So, if you have a topic or something that you want to reach out to us for, go ahead and post it on our forum at bss.studio. There's a topic specifically for this show. So you can post what you think there, or you can start a new thread and say, hey, Double Cup of Joe guys, you'd really add some production value if you did this. Or, Joe, your background is crazy. Like, your green screen really needs to be updated.
Yeah.
Yeah, like maybe that's something
I mean,
that,
that closet door is beautiful, though. I
oh,
got it.
yeah.
I gotta hand it to that closet door.
Whatever artist drew that, fantastic.
They did a really, really realistic job. It was amazing.
And man, this criminal idol tapestry that they drew was such a nice touch.
Oh yes, yes.
You can get all
And
your
on their screen, it's always backwards. Like the letters are backwards. Have you noticed that?
no, because it's on their screen, not mine.
Well, you ought to watch our show once in a while, Joe. Like,
But I was there.
why would I watch it? I was in it. Like,
I was there.
I don't want to watch my.
I go back occasionally, but that's not one of the things I'm looking at. I try not to look at myself.
Why? You're so beautiful.
Go see something there that I don't see, but that's okay. That's okay. So yeah, go ahead and click the link that Joe shared there, or the links in the description at your own. And you can go ahead and share ideas for Free for All Friday. It's a fun time where we discuss different topics that you bring to us, and it can be really anything. That's why it's called Free for All. You can be, we can have a chat on cats. I don't even care. Even though I'm allergic and I hate cats, we can talk about that. Like Free for All Friday is free for all. It doesn't
Yes.
matter what I think or what Joe thinks. We're going to try and talk about whatever topic you have to an extent. uh,
Land, Land America. Lodi. Latin America Lodi.
Oh, Joe.
Hey, Jeff wrote it.
And you read it.
I read it. You read it out loud for the world to hear. Like
Hmm.
that. Uh-huh.
So if you guys are here, also going on at roughly 4 o'clock uh, p.m. Pacific Standard, not Eastern Standard Time.
There will
That's
not be a Twitch stream.
Oh, there's not a Twitch stream today.
No.
My goodness.
I
Norm.
know it's updated, man. We get so excited.
Ah, yes. Well, maybe there maybe there will be a Twitch stream. Maybe there will be a Twitch stream. It just won't be one of ours.
Somebody
So,
come up with a Twitch stream, please, that we can promote on Tuesday and Thursday. That would be great.
wait, they're done for all Tuesdays, Thursdays?
Sure. Oh, yeah, for now, for the foreseeable future. Tuesdays and Thursdays have not, because Jesse's in the middle of his coding boot camp, and also his work just bumped up a notch. So he's exceptionally busy now.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
so yes. So the gaming stream is only on weekends now. So you can still go there. It's just on Saturdays and Sundays. The Tuesdays and Thursdays have been removed for right now. So it's okay. Just somebody do a Twitch stream that, we can be like, hey, go check out their Twitch stream. It's kind of like, at the end of Twitch streams, how they raid other people's Twitch streams stuff.
We're
We
pretty
want to
much
raid your stream, but it's gotta be kid friendly and all that kind of stuff. You gotta be, you gotta be good natured about it and stuff. You can't be doing nasty things on there. So keep that in mind.
Jeff is recommending the Theology Thursday Throwdown. Dun dun
Yeah.
dun. We have the opportunity. uh, it could be amazing. So, anyway, for right now, you heard it from Joe. We don't have anything Tuesday and Thursday. So, hey, maybe this is a time. Maybe your dream was to start a Twitch stream or any kind of stream where you do something amazing, something you're talented at, something that is a dream that you've had. Like now would be a great time to do it because we'll be here to promote it on the show. So, as always, feel free to reach out to either Joe or I on bss.studio. We would love to talk, get to know you, see what's going on in life. This show is all about moving you and us forward. And so, if you could reach out to us, that would be great. So, anyway, we love you guys. We thank you for being here, being a part of what we do, and we will see you tomorrow.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. Tomorrow morning, we're gonna be back in full. I'm gonna be wearing a black shirt probably.
And I will be wearing a shirt as well.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. But yeah, we'll see you guys tomorrow.